I'm Val. Are you ready to learn about the fourth of the laws of the ecosystem? Last time, you learned about water and how it cycles around the earth in the water cycle. Today, we're going to talk about where a lot of that water is stored, the soil. For our purposes today, we're going to focus on the abiotic part of the soil, and we'll take a deeper look later on. So, why is soil important? And how is it connected to the rest of the ecosystem? Soil gives all sorts of organisms a place to grow, right? Plants' roots wind through the soil, helping them stay stable and upright, and keeping them in place when an herbivore might tug on their leaves. And strands of fungi branch through the soils too, creating stable networks. The soil also nourishes many different organisms. Plants and fungi pull nutrition out of the soil and into their bodies, sort of the way that people might take vitamins. That's why people might add compost or fertilizer to their gardens. They're nourishing their plants so that then their plants can feed them. Gardens are ecosystems too. And soil is important habitat. More than 25% of known life on Earth lives in the soil, and many other organisms rely on it for burrows, dens, and nutrition. The particles in soil also act like a sponge, helping hold all that water in place so that plants can use it and so that the organisms that live down there don't dry out. And as that water filters through the soil, it can even clean out some of the pollutants that might have been in that water. So it'll come out the other side cleaner than it came in. And there are many different types of soil, which each contain different amounts and kinds of minerals. Every species of plant requires a particular type of soil to survive and thrive. So the soil type in an ecosystem even determines what plants can live there. So how can we be stewards of the soil? When we go to parks and trails, we can make sure we stay on the trail to protect the soil in other parts of the ecosystem. We can also leave branches, dead leaves, and other plant material on the ground so that it can protect the soil underneath from getting washed away by rain and eventually break down and become part of the soil itself. So those are the abiotic parts of the ecosystem, the laws, the light, air, water, and soil that determine what biotic organisms can live in an ecosystem. Now, let's try to find all four of the laws at our sit spots. When you go to your sit spot, can you find sunlight, air, water, and soil? What do you notice about them? Put out a cup at your sit spot and check it every morning to see how much rain fell in the last 24 hours. And every time you check it, make sure to dump it out so that you don't accidentally count the same rain twice. What patterns do you notice? And what patterns do you see between the laws and the organisms that you find living around your sit spot? Do you notice any plants that only grow in sunny spots or shady spots? In wet spots or dry spots? What color is your soil? Do you notice any patterns between what the soil looks like and what plants you see growing in a place? What sort of ecosystem do you live in? So for mine, I made an area with the date and the time and the weather, and then some notes about different sources of light that I saw, like the sun or the moon. I noticed different plants growing in sunny or in shady spots. Made notes about the air and the wind. Notes about the soil, what it looks like, what it feels like, what it looks like there is in there, like pieces of sticks and wood chips. And my observations about water and how it affected the plants around where the water landed. Record all your observations in your sit spot journal, and if you'd like, share what you notice with us by emailing them to education@mtsgreenway.org. And for our next video, get ready to switch to learning about the biotic parts of the ecosystem, all the living stuff. See you next time!